On Campus is brought to you by the UWI Mona, inspiring excellence, producing leaders. On Campus, a weekly look at what's happening on the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies. On Campus today, the National Baking Company enhancing STEM education in Jamaica through the Boost program. There's our regular campus calendar, but first, UE News. Bridget Freeman, a UK philanthropist, has donated $500,000 to UE Global Giving as personal reparation. Under the theme Emancipate, Educate, Donate, UWI Global Giving is grounded in the UWI's vision to facilitate an access revolution for higher education in the Caribbean, calling on the support of regional and international alumni, partners, the diaspora, and friends to give. Vice-Chancellor of the UWI, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, said the university community welcomes Mrs. Freeman's generous endowment, describing it as an honorable demonstration of personal reparation and moral leadership on behalf of her family. He added that her commitment to turning her awareness into action is deeply appreciated and will go a long way to providing freedom and fulfillment through the gift of education for many Caribbean students. Throughout August and September, persons interested in giving to the UWI are invited to visit www.uwi.edu/giving. For more information on the UWI Global Giving campaign, persons may contact the Institutional Advancement Division in the Office of the Vice-Chancellor at 876-977-0052 or email giving@alumni.uwi.edu. The National Baking Company is on a mission to revolutionize STEM education in Jamaica by building out our science teachers, or the Boost program. They have partnered with us at the UWI Mona's Faculty of Science and Technology and others to make this happen. This afternoon, Public Relations Officer at the Mona campus, Camille Reed, speaks with Gary Butch Hendrickson, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Continental Baking Company Limited and Boost Program Patron, and Cheryl Serju, Loan Servicing Manager with the Students' Loan Bureau, about how this program will enhance STEM education in Jamaica.
I want to start with you, Mr. Hendrickson. Your company is a baking company. I wanted to know specifically why you were interested in promoting STEM education as opposed to any other discipline.
Well, good question, Camille. Actually, the idea of education is not new to us. We've spent a lot on a program called, it was originally called Crayons Count, became Little Leaders. It was an early childhood program that ran for a few years. We put a lot of time and money into it. We have committed to education, and the more I speak to people in the business world, the more we realize the lack of education, the lack of extensive STEM education, specifically in the country. Very weak in mathematics, and even worse so in the sciences, I think. I think that's a fair statement. I think if we're going to build a nation, if we're going to build this country that we love so dearly, then we have to start getting a strong education base, very strong. So, Camille, we had to do something. We're not a sit down and watch and wait company. And this is something I want to do for a long time. So, Mina Israel calls me one day and she says, I need a little bit of help at UA. We tried to put together a little STEM program. Would National consider $100,000? I'm sitting here going, this is like the perfect timing. Well, something. Maybe I don't know. She has her own karma. So I said, well, I'll tell you what. Let me think about this for a while because you and I are on the same page. We just had different paragraphs. So I went back to her after. I said, look, I'm willing to go way more than $100,000 because I think it's something that should be done over a few years, and it's something that the company must commit to try and drive this education process forward. So if you're going to create STEM, you have to create STEM teachers first. The early childhood education taught us that, where we had to actually help train the early childhood teachers. So with that experience in mind, I said, okay, how do we go about this? And then Mina came into the picture, Prof. Taylor came into the picture. We kind of put it all together. It came together quite quickly. I put it to the foundation, the National Baking Company Foundation. I spoke to Brian Jardim, who actually chairs it, not me. They don't even allow me in the room. And there are the directors who might have to be my children, and Christine Scott Brown, who Laurie Ann Samuels has succeeded as executive director. And we spoke about this thing, and the long and short of it, Camille, it's an absolute win-win situation. It's a win-win situation for my country. It's a win-win situation for the youth. And I think it has made sense in that I hear other people they're thinking of joining us in this whole thing, coming on board. But I just want to make it very clear that we have done this in a pure STEM, with a pure STEM intent. It's not intended to be a rounded part of your education. I think we'll have to search for that somewhere else. But right now, I think the deficiency in STEM, the sciences and mathematics, must be addressed and in short order. And it is my absolute hope. And indeed, I'm up to recently, Brian Jardim himself were talking about it. It happens very, very quickly. And we are very, 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 very optimistic that we're going to have to find some more money for this thing, because success will bring success. So we watch it. And in typical business fashion, we say, well, okay, show me the performance. Show me the bottom line. How well have we done? And that is what we're looking for. We're looking forward to having to probably dig a little deeper and invite others to come on board. But this whole STEM boost to us is very exciting for the country. And believe me, this is a Jamaican thing. This is nothing to do just with the UWI, certainly not to do with national. It's a Jamaican thing, and we must treat it that way.
Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Continental Baking Company Limited and Boost Program patron Gary Butch Hendrickson, sharing his thoughts on how the Boost program will change STEM education in Jamaica. After the break, we'll hear from Cheryl Serju, Loan Servicing Manager at the Students' Loan Bureau. But first, let's take a look at our campus calendar. The Sustainable Rural and Agricultural Development Research Cluster, SRAD, at the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute of Social and Economic Studies, Salises, on the Mona campus, invites members of the UWI community and the public to join the virtual forum to discuss tailoring biotechnology to better serve Afro-descendant farmers and rural development in the Caribbean. Join the discussion on Wednesday, September 1 at 11 in the morning. This event forms part of a series aimed at engaging rural stakeholders in the region and elsewhere in realizing the SDG goals vital to this cluster of zero hunger, good health and well-being, plus decent work and growth in the context of the plantation scene. Register to participate via the Salises website at uwi.edu/Salises-Mona. We now return to Gary Butch Hendrickson, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Continental Baking Company Limited, as well as patron of the Boost program, and Cheryl Serju, Loan Servicing Manager with the Students' Loan Bureau, as they tell us more about how this partnership is set to change STEM education in Jamaica.
This is a scholarship initiative, and the SLB's role is quite unique in this regard. So could you tell me about the SLB's role in this Boost program?
Certainly, Camille. But let me quickly just introduce and tell you how we guys came on board, because when the idea was presented to us by Prof. Taylor, our ED and our Deputy ED, we had a discussion regarding this scholarship program that the National Baking Company Foundation was putting on, and in collaboration with the Faculty of Sciences. And so it was in direct alignment with some of the objectives that we have here at the SLB. As you may be aware, our mission is to provide affordable financing to students pursuing tertiary education and therefore contributing to nation development. And that aspect of our mission in terms of contributing to nation development, that is something that we actually zoomed in on. And when we saw the opportunity to come on board with this program, we were very excited and elated about this. Also, we had a similar program with the SLB here, where we offer special incentives in terms of interest rates, lower interest rates for beneficiaries who are studying, particularly in the STEM areas. And so when we got on board, it was very easy for us. We recognized that there is an issue with teaching of STEM courses particularly at the high school level and right across. And so if it is that we want to enhance our country, then this is something that we readily jump on board with. So as partner, not only will we be facilitating the disbursement of the payments, but we will be also providing the additional benefits through our own STEM program to the awardees who have existing SLB loans. So these scholarship recipients will benefit from a reduced interest rate of 6% per annum. And after 1 year in repayment, they will also be eligible for an additional 2% reduction in the annual interest rate once their loans are in what we call good standing or current state, meaning that their loan is current, they are not outstanding with any payments or up to a maximum of 30 days late in terms of their repayment. And so we at the SLB, we are committed to participate in this STEM program, and it's in direct alignment with Jamaica's national priorities and strategic objectives. And so this is something that we were easily ready and prepared to come on board with. And we're actually having internal discussions in terms of how we can contribute more towards this scholarship program.
A wildly successful boost program, what would that look like for you?
In my lay terms, and I have to use an American analogy, an old American analogy, because I understand they've changed SAT scoring. A wildly successful STEM program on the mathematics portion of the SAT in my time would be 1,600. So wildly successful for Jamaica would be all students over 1,500. How is that? You might be able to teach everybody to draw like Da Vinci or like our Albert Huey, but you certainly can teach people mathematics. And I do not accept that as a cultural thing. I accept that we have not made maths and science interesting to our children, and so they look for other things. So it's really, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that it's natural for them to do it. You want a bad student? You're speaking to one right now. The absolute worst student that ever went to Jamaica College or Robertson's prep school. Absolute worst. But the teachers were so good at the time, and my peers were kind of pull you along. That I absolutely made it through life this far, but I don't think the generations to come will be as lucky as I have been. Not with the level of competition they'll face. I truly believe that, and so therefore we have to help them do it and prepare them for it. Camille, it is not going to happen by itself. Believe me.
Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Continental Baking Company Limited, as well as patron of the Boost program, Gary Butch Hendrickson, and Loan Servicing Manager with the Students' Loan Bureau, Cheryl Serju, speaking to Camille Reed, Public Relations Officer at Mona, about the impact the Boost program will have on STEM education in Jamaica. To have a science or math teacher from the Boost program employed at your institution commencing in September, please contact the Dean's Office at the Faculty of Science and Technology at 876-977-1785 or email fst@uwimona.edu.jm. And that's On Campus for today. To stay connected to the UWI Mona, home of the Pelicans, or to apply to UWI Mona, visit us online at www.mona.uwi.edu or like our official Facebook page at www.facebook.com/UWI Mona. The University of the West Indies, inspiring excellence, producing leaders. If you have suggestions for this program, please contact the Marketing, Recruitment and Communications Office, University of the West Indies, Mona, Kingston 7, or email us at marketing.communications@uwimona.edu.jm. On Campus was produced by Camille Reed. I am Sean Mokien. On Campus is a production of the Marketing, Recruitment and Communications Office of the University of the West Indies, Mona, and is recorded in the Media Lab of the University Archives at the UWI Regional Headquarters.